And we are live.
All right, let me get it. Ooh, I like this thumbnail.
You like that?
I like that a lot.
Fanboy Modeling School. Hello and welcome to Fanboy Modeling School After Dark.
After dark.
We're doing it after dark style, which means we're doing things a little more adult, a little more intense, and a lot more gross. So if you're unable to handle it, get the hell out of my stream.
But we're not doing anything together.
No. We're not going to be we're not going to be gross the way the people in these stories were gross. We've got a lot of great gross stories for you. They're going to be so gross. You're gonna be so disgusted. But I'm the Fat Mantis now in HD, and I am here with
your man Steve. Real name, no gimmicks, clean shave because I messed up my mustache. Let me know what you think in the chat. Should I grow whoa, almost did it there. Should I grow my conservative beard back or just stay smooth as a Democrat?
You look like someone I want to mug. Beto O'Rourke. You're the black Beto O'Rourke right now. So basically, first we got to do some shout outs to all these party people in here, such as Rogue Radio, Shaolin Iceboxer, Laney O, Princess Bex, holler at your boy Dragon Lady. We've got Low, as in my man Loki Bear.
Great show last week.
Yeah, love you all. Thank you for stopping in to Fanboy Modeling School. And this is just a reminder, if you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed to Fight Juice and this video, please do so. It's the only way you're going to get this amazing content right here.
Real quick, before we get there and before we get to any honorable mentions, shout out to you, $4.99 on YouTube. It's been a grind, but I'm happy to see you there. I'm happy to see you growing. Shout out to the Hold Up TV with our happy 371. We jumped up 20 from the last time, so I'm happy to see that.
I love how you say you're like, I don't put anything on it, and I still get people.
I haven't uploaded anything in quite some time, and I'm living off of one video, and they keep coming.
Not even shorts. I could have sworn I seen a short of yours the other day.
Yeah, no, I didn't do a short. Edited one. Oh wait, you did. I digress. Edited one, put one up, realized it was a little too spicy for the internet, took it down at the behest.
Oh, there we go. That's the explanation.
yes.
Which is why we have After Dark. After Dark is all about the spicy stories that the internet is ready for.
It's all about it. Honorable mentions, you got any?
Yeah, you can do honorable mentions.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Greta. Is her name Greta Feinberg? What is her last name? The young
Greta Thunberg. It's
Thunberg.
Can't be pronounced by us stupid Americans.
Civilized Americans with our
it's some Viking name that's nonsense.
Du hast me. Anyway,
indeed.
She was arrested, or I should say detained briefly this past week, momentarily. Got carted off like a small child while she was protesting some I believe it was oil refinery rigs or something like that going on there. Your thoughts? Do you care? I feel like Greta gets picked on a lot. I don't mind her views. I really don't. I understand where she's coming from. I just feel like she's being used by other interests, but I don't mind her as a person.
Okay. Is it all right if I pitch a conspiracy theory right now?
Pitch it. Pitch that tent. Wait.
She is a plant from Russia and other Middle Eastern oil producing countries to shame and to create propaganda here in the West.
Okay.
And so here's what it is. She never attacks or condemns Russia or Saudi Arabia. And when she was asked the other day, all she did was laugh. First, she said, I want to make it clear. I have never condemned them. And they're like, well, you condemn them too because they produce oil and they're horribly polluting the earth. And she just went, and tried to, and just avoided the question. And so now I believe she is a plant.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Has she criticized India or China, who actually have the highest carbon emission rates in the world?
I don't know, but she seems to hate on us. We're stupid America. Yeah, but what about all these other countries that doing evil?
And that's why I'm bringing back freedom fries, ladies and gentlemen. Freedom fries.
I will eat the shit out of a freedom fry right now. That's how charged I am about our stories tonight, man. But Greta Thunberg, there's something wrong, like just messed up about her.
I feel bad for her, man. When I say I feel bad for her, I feel bad for her the same way I feel bad for my friends who had mob parents or rich parents. I feel bad for her in that sense. She was thrust into the limelight by a very impassioned speech. And there was a lot of substance to that speech. It wasn't like she was just some crazy person saying stuff, but at the same time, it's sad, right? It's sad, Greta's.
All young people are sad nowadays.
Mantis is coming with the ageism. He hates young people.
I don't hate young people. I hate everything young people stand for. It's totally different. Totally.
The Mantis ever tell you guys about the time a teenager came up to him? He was like, "Hey, Steve, just hold on for 1 second," and punched the poor kid in his face. He was like, "And now you know what reality feels like."
Just trying to give this kid work ethic. Lo says Greta deserves every ounce of criticism. Laney O says we love the conspiracies. And Lo says she's an organic turd. Rogue Radio, the queen of conspiracies, is into the idea. Logue says, I feel bad for her solely from the angle that she's young and has no real idea what she is saying.
Now, that could very well be true. I don't know how much time she's put into any of the science behind, global warming, eco concerns, fracking, and all those things. I have a complicated view on it, right? I think that we're set here to be good stewards of the earth, so we should be good stewards in its resources as well. But Greta also got a beef with Andrew Tate, so I don't know. All the Andrew Tate
they're gonna get
don't
married
like her right now. They're gonna get married. Yuck. Yeah. Could you imagine that?
This is their flirtation game. And before, a lot of people are like, she's a little girl. She's 20 years old. She can get with Andrew Tate.
18.
I'm sure he's getting with a 20-year-old right now as we speak.
He's locked up. Never mind. I can't go until we get on Rumble. I can't make the joke I was going to make. Right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of scared of one of our stories tonight that it might get us in trouble. Apparently, it gets people in trouble on Twitter. Lo says she's a mouthpiece for environmental talking points. Her youth is being exploited. Absolutely.
100%.
And her autism.
100%.
Absolutely. And her autism.
Yeah. Well, she has Asperger's, right? I believe it's
so that's the low end of the spectrum. But still, I think that they play that card up and they're like, look, even
100%. 100%.
Lo says she's 20. Yes, she is 20. When she came here, she was 18. Teenager.
She's 18.
She's 18?
Yeah.
She can still get with Andrew Tate. So LORM. She looks 12. She does look 12, but
yeah, she looks the same exact age when she made she went on her soliloquies that evening. What up, RM, by the way?
Yeah, what up? Welcome to the stream. Andrew Rogue Radio says Andrew Tate will never marry an adult. So sad.
That is the absolute truth. But I won't say it to his face because the man is a kickboxing champion. So I'll stand behind Shaolin Iceboxer, be like, hey, do you know what this guy said about you?
Yeah, he is trafficking money. He can make us disappear.
Dude, here's the crazy thing, though, man. They denied his appeals, right? He's still locked up, but he's somehow able to tweet. Romania apparently is the place to be locked up at. Romania and Israel.
I mean, someone could be tweeting it for him.
No, he's tweeting.
They let them use computers and lock up
phones. I think he's allowed to have his phone.
If I could have my phone in jail, it's not really jail, is it?
Bro, have you seen the prison system in Israel? They actually do a crazy thing called reforming people. It's insane.
God. So, okay, so you know Nerdrotic, right?
Of course. Shout out to Nerdrotic.
Shout out to Nerdrotic. I actually just saw him. Chrissy Mayer was interviewing. I mean, they're on each other's shows all the time. And I did not know this, but he is an ex-con. He's a two-striker from California.
Wait. Maybe I don't know which Nerd Rod. Are you talking about Nerd
the old
Roddick?
guy with the beard who runs a comic book store?
Nerd Roddick. Hold on, let me look him up. Go ahead.
Look up Nerd Roddick. He was a two-striker. He used to be a cocaine addict, and he went to prison. And he was telling prison stories. And this is a guy who normally talks about comic books.
Hold on for a sec. Oh, yes, I do know Nerd Roddick. Holy smokes. I don't know what he looks like. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's got the beard and stuff. Apparently, so he'd been to prison and like basically he told the story. He's like, when I got out, my lawyer said, you need to get the hell out of California because you're a two-striker.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. It was fascinating. You were talking about prison reform, but he was one of the reason I brought this up is he was pointing out, she was like, oh, you know, what was prison like? And he starts saying, he's like, the one thing you're never going to get in prison, in American prison, is reformed. They didn't do anything to try to help me. They didn't try to help me with my addiction. They didn't try to make me a better person, you know. And then he says, basically, as an adult, you've got to man up yourself and know you don't want to go back. And so I was like, oh. And so
there were a few programs that they had that they struck down. There was a SAP program in California where basically they were using prisoners to put out forest fires, but you had access to things like substance abuse classes, diversion and stuff like they had diversion court, but they've largely done away with all that stuff. And now they've said, this is the liberals, mind you, the liberals.
All right.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. Figure it out, kids. Thank you. Don't even get me started on people in prison for drug stuff because, you know. But anyway.
All right. So next honorable mention, I just want to throw this out there since we're getting conspiratorial episode madness.
It is after dark, so feel free to let it all out.
After dark. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Papa Biden with all the confidential files and all the houses everywhere. What is going on, Mantis? Like you studied political science in school, let me know what's going on here.
So it would appear, and I'm sure this will be very unpopular or whatever, but it would appear that stealing confidential documents on your way out of the White House is just common form. It's just called business as usual in White House. Right. And so Trump, I knew, would never get in trouble. He will never get in trouble for anything he does. But Papa Biden will never even be asked questions in official capacity about it. I promise you that.
I think they're trying to get him out of there. I think the liberals are making their vie to get him out of there because he's saying that he wants to run again, and they're like, whoa.
It's unless they rig the election again, there's pretty much no way that they can get.
Wait, did you say again?
Again, yeah. Unless they rig the election again, there's really no way he can beat anybody, whether it's DeSantis or Trump. Those men have pulses, and Biden is a skeleton being held by strings. So I don't know. Like, he is a bad pick. Let me just say, he's a bad pick.
I think your next baby mama, AOC, is going to be the Democrat.
For some reason, it was adorable when you used to say it about that Star Wars girl. It's not adorable with AOC. That really
right now, I can see myself having to sit across the table with her, and you're holding hands. You're like, so this is Steve, my best friend. I'm like, hi. Like, thanks for eating my food.
Never getting with AOC.
Okay. So common practice. Presidents leave; they take confidential stuff with them. I just find it interesting that the coverage on this is actually there, right? I went to go make sure CNN was covering it, and MSNBC, and obviously a trusted news source like Newsmax.
Can I cut you off real quick? Go super quick. I was watching CNN cover it. This is hysterical. The woman on it, as she's talking, and she's like, yes, and the Republicans try to compare them. But let's face it, the files Biden had were so outdated, it's meaningless compared to Trump's. And I'm like, that is the stupidest argument I have ever heard in my life.
I heard that. Now, in my mind, I just kept saying, was it declassified? Because if it wasn't, do you know what that makes it?
Right,
It doesn't matter how old it is.
It doesn't matter how old it is. But the fact that a reporter is paid to say that, it's propaganda. It's crazy.
It's absolute madness. Absolutely.
But anyway, you were saying they are covering it, but they're covering it like that. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a biased coverage. But enough with the honorable mentions. The foreplay's over. Welcome to the After Dark Fanboy Modeling School. Let's get right into it.
Real quick, let's finish our chats over here.
Okay, go for it.
Says I've never seen such a meteoric fall from grace. Andrew Tate, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And I think it's so funny that they leaked the tape, or that video was already out, but it was part of his YouTube bundle that was deleted. But he says the prosecutor did this. Who did this? But someone brought back out his tape of him saying in Romania, you can do any crime. You hand them a bag of money and you'll walk right out.
Right, and that's probably the thing that got him in trouble.
Yeah,
that's what put him on the radar.
Which means they're probably rigging it against him. So there's no way he's getting a free trial. I think he's probably guilty, but it doesn't matter because he's not going to get a free trial either way. He says, Shaolin continues and says, I'm getting Book of Job's vibes over here. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Lo says Greta is going to end up like David Hogg, completely irrelevant when she comes of age. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, that's the kid who was one of the survivors of a mass shooting, and he became an anti-gun pop star for a minute, and then now nobody remembers who he is.
Well, that's mostly because Marjorie Green chased his ass up. Yeah.
Well, that's why Greta Thunberg gets arrested, though. She wants to stay relevant. And that's why activists get arrested.
Allegedly.
So they stay on people's minds,
I've been told that we say some way out shit here on Fanboy, so I should start saying allegedly after everything we say. Allegedly.
Greta Thunberg, if that's even her name.
Allegedly.
I would pay to see him and Logan Paul go at it in the ring.
Oh,
that would be entertaining.
So I have a breakdown for this. Not Logan Paul, because he's actually in. Which one is the younger one? If Jake is the younger one, they're closer together in weight class. So based off what I've seen of Andrew Tate as a kickboxing champion, not amateur, but a kickboxing champion. He never fought in Glory or Star, I believe is the other name. The man got hands. He's got hands and feet. He can fight. He can put combos together. And he's super elusive when it comes to getting hit. But when it comes to boxing, I always believe you're at a handicap when you go in there with boxing rules. He's going to get knocked out. Jake Paul is a much better boxer than we all give him credit for. I think he would probably knock him out.
I'm just going to say this.
Go for it.
I think the Paul brothers, I feel that only if they keep inviting MMA guys to do boxing, and I understand they train in boxing, but people don't realize that's not the same thing.
No, it's totally different.
How to hustle in the sport of boxing is not the same thing as taking boxing for MMA. It's applied differently. And so what it is that I feel that if they were real men, which they're not, these are all rigged fights, let's get real, or they choose opponents they know they're going to take out and need money. They would do an MMA fight or only invite people who were real boxers.
So Jake Paul did sign to PFL, and he signed to PFL, and if I understand the contract correctly, he's also a owner. I don't understand, but it's like a super fight division. PFL is an MMA organization that does $1 million contests. It's kind of like old school MMA, where it's like they have
survive in MMA. Am I right?
Yeah, but he actually signed to an MMA organization, and now he's thinking about doing it. Also, something I want to let you know about the Paul brothers: they can both wrestle, and at the base of MMA, there are two styles. Yeah, no, they can wrestle. Unfortunately, they can. There are two formats, two styles that people follow closely: jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So if you can do either one of those, you stand a chance, but they're gonna get worked. But I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just saying this, right? Andrew Tate would more than likely get knocked out against a real boxer because you're going in with a handicap, right? He's used to using elbows, knees, and feet. He's not going to be able to counter the way he wants to.
Right, but I would love to see an MMA fight between whatever Paul brother and Andrew Tate. That would be great.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not a real man until you've gone to prison, says Lowe.
Oh, sick burn on Mantis.
That is a sick burn on me. Damn, I feel like a bitch right now. I hate them both. That's why I want to see them fight. Of course, Rogue. If the Dems could rig the election, Hillary would be president. Says Andrew is actually a fighter and way younger than what Jake fights. He would get smacked for sure, but all we know these fights are rigged or have some rules that we don't know about. So, like for instance, the Mayweather.
That was 100% a backroom deal. Now, Mayweather gave up a lot of weight to Logan, for sure. But there was a point, me and Mantis actually covered this fight on Spoon. And I said it on Spoon, and you said it right after me. I was like, wait, did Mayweather just clip him? And we watched fucking Paul fall back, and he didn't go in for the kill?
Yes, that's right.
It was like,
that's right. And I bet you he was contractually said, we're going to come to a standstill. It's a fun exhibition. You're never going to go for the kill. And he probably got 25 extra million for that. And he's fine with it. We'd all probably be fine with it. But in terms of like a real fight, that was not a real fight.
No, it wasn't a real fight at all.
Yeah.
He also apparently never paid Logan Paul.
Who?
Mayweather. That was all under the Money Mayweather production.
So he had to have. I mean, obviously,
no. Logan Paul, if I'm believing him, was on Andrew Schultz's podcast, Flagrant, and he was still asking for his money. He's like, I never got paid. The difference between the Paul brothers and Conor was Conor has the type of manager and had Dana White on his side because they had to pay the UFC, where they got every bit of the money that Conor was owed and the UFC was owed.
Special shout out to Mayweather. Because I give a high five to anyone who cheats the Paul brothers.
Well, one of them is definitely going down in flames, Logan, over his whole fucking crypto digi Pokemon thing. It's insanity. But let's catch up on the chat so we can get into.
I know we're caught up now. We can now get into the nitty and the gritty. I know what story you want to start with.
Oh my goodness. So you guys might be aware of a podcast channel called No Jumper. I cover them a lot on my personal channel, and we talk about them from time to time here. No Jumper is owned by Adam22 and his close assistant and partner, Josh, right? Josh is the guy that's behind the cameras, but you hear him every once in a while. House Phone is a part of the original No Jumper podcast. So it was Adam22, House Phone, and Cam Girl.
Right. And so people know it's mainly a hip hop focused, and they interview a lot of underground hip hop people, or they talk about the drama that comes from the underground hip hop world.
Yeah.
Some of the drama comes to their podcast studio.
Yeah, and okay, so
they love that.
When No Jumper got started off, watching Adam22, who used to be a professional BMX biker, parlay this, his career as a biker into a store where they sold bikes in Hollywood, and he was able to start the podcast. This is also Adam22 famously had a guy pull a fake gun out on him, and it made the news.
Right.
A whole thing. But here's the point. House Phone has been a mainstay on the show when many people have left.
And he's a hip-hop artist himself. He was podcaster and a hip-hop artist. So
hip-hop artist from the Atlanta, Georgia area, I believe. And he's Adam's friend, and he's been there forever. Adam22 recently went to the porn convention. There's no other way for me to say it. I'm not going to look for the acronym, the name, or any of that stuff. He was at the porn convention, had some back and forth with a transgender adult film star, or if you prefer the term, what is it? What do they call themselves? The porn stars?
You're right. They have some sort of crazy, ridiculous.
They have a name. They're like sexual athletes or something like that.
Oh, right.
He brought on a trans adult film star, who outed House Phone as a person that she had coitus with. Now, what's the issue here, right? The issue is this. Adam22 is the owner proprietor of No Jumper. House Phone is his friend. House Phone reached out to him and said, hey, because of where I come from, I don't really want this to come out the way that it's coming out. I don't want this interview to be aired. So Adam22 had a responsibility as the owner of the program to edit out anything with House Phone. Apparently, his editors fell asleep at the helm and allowed certain things to come out. Go ahead, Mantis.
Okay. Before I say anything, the first thing I gotta say, the first thing I want to say is a direct response to you. I don't think as the head of the podcast he was obligated to do that. I think as House Phone's boy,
right,
he was obligated to do that. That's what makes it even more messed up. Trust me, when you go on a podcast and you say something stupid, they love that they recorded you saying something stupid. They want nothing more than to put that on there. However, when it's your own boy, that's where the obligation of interference runs into.
Right. And I get what you're saying, but I was just trying to bring it to like the business aspect, right? If you're my editor, while I agree with everything you said, if your job is to do what I say and edit out everything I say, how do you let that slip?
Here's the thing. I don't think it was an accident. I think Adam 22. Here's what it is. Here's the way I'm looking at it. House Phone occasionally comes on No Jumper, but he's doing his own independent music thing, so he's not on it that much. He was a regular member of the podcast. Now he's kind of like, I come in when I come in, right?
Right. Hold on. Let me stop you there. He is still a regular member. He got suspended because he wasn't showing up, but it's because he was dealing with the illness of his mother, who eventually passed away.
In the business or whatever. Like,
no.
I thought he was getting big, so he was like, I'm too good for this or some shit.
No. He's too toes down. He's all toes down on this situation. His mother was sick, but go ahead.
The way I see it is, the way I felt it is that Adam 22 said, I can make a quick buck off of my boy, off of shaming my boy right now.
Boom. So what's the big deal here, right? Some people are going to say, hey, you slept with a transgender woman. Why wouldn't you want that to be out there? Well, here's the deal, right? House Phone's from a particular community, right? He's from a Southern Black family. This could change the dynamic of how he lives his life, as well as the fact that he has the right to come in front of any story before anyone else. Now, obviously, here on these internet streets, we know people get exposés done on them all the time. Stuff gets leaked. But is it right for your friend and boss to invite an op onto the channel who, and it wasn't the No Jumper channel. It's actually for a podcast called Sledge Lords. We'll get into that in a second. Where they brought this person on whose only purpose was to out House Phone. What's the point? Mantis, take it away.
I mean, I feel that it has to be, for clout or for profit. But the thing is, I just don't understand if he's his boy, why he would do that.
I don't get
it. And it's just, is it a publicity stunt? There's no way House Phone wanted that information out. And so, did you actually see the video? It was not on No Jumper. It's some other thing where someone asked him about it, and what his response was.
House Phone?
His response was, he's like, look, yo, man, your boy House Phone's kind of a freak. And he says, let me tell you. Yeah, I do sort of freaky things. Well, let me tell you. And here's what he says. He goes, I never sucked a dick. I never let a dick inside me. He's listing off all this shit he didn't do.
Right.
So basically, what the one thing he didn't list was fucking a transgendered porn star. So basically, he admitted it, but he didn't admit it, if you know what I mean.
He copped to it. He did the best PR he could possibly do in regards to this, because House Phone's the type of dude where he doesn't want to disparage a community, right? He's not after the transgender community. What he was trying to do is saying, hey, this happened, but these things didn't happen. My issue with this entire thing is the entire outing culture of everything. Like, everyone wants to expose everyone over something else, right? You want to expose someone's secret. You want to expose someone's behavior. But what do you get out of exposing them? And in this instance, Adam had a responsibility as not just forget friend, as an owner, to make sure. Now, all right, let me give some more context. Adam 22 has an issue with a guy by the name of Milk. He's a white Crip from the Long Beach or Compton area. I don't fucking know. He's white and he's a Crip. Not a big deal. You've seen it. I've seen it before in California. But one of his contributors on No Jumper, a guy by the name of T-Rel, was doing work with Milk. And Adam said, hey, as a unit, I feel as if though you should not work with this guy, even though this was T-Rail's thing apart from No Jumper, and T-Rail respected it. So what you're telling me is, Adam, you could not make the decision as a business owner not to bring on an op for a person whose sole purpose was to expose your homeboy and your employee.
Okay, so we actually saw it a lot, and look, Princess Beck says that the man being named House Phone is hilarious to me. All the rapper names are used up. All the good ones are gone for the 90s.
It's a great name, House Phone.
Have you seen these guys? XXX that name is horrible. There's so many horrible names out here. House Phone's at least funny. That's
a great name. It's a great name.
Yeah, I think it's great. But look, that's what I'm saying. The names are getting less and less clever, and so that's better compared to some of these other rappers. They got
absolutely.
But you and me saw it. I think all of it saw it. And actually, before I go any further, real quick, guys, everyone in the chat, I'm going to let you know that if you're ever on one of my podcasts, if you're ever my guest, if you're any of those things, and you say some shit that's gold, but it's going to hurt you, I'm going to put it on the air.
Oh, shit.
Straight up. And that, I'm telling you, any good podcaster would do that. Rogan would do that. Adam 22 knew.
No, Rogan would not do it. Rogan actually has said he will not air anything that people don't clear.
The only thing that I won't air is if you're a friend of mine and you say Mantis, please don't. That'll ruin my rap. Then I won't.
Unless you're me. And he's like, fuck you, Steve. It's going up.
Steve, I record you when you don't even know, and I'm just waiting for you to say the wrong fucking thing so I can get it. That's just going to be all over Twitter.
You light-skinned motherfucker.
But, me and you saw it all the time on Spoon.
All the time.
All the time. People looking to gut their supposed friend for clout.
Right.
They're like, I can't wait till this person messes up so I can shame them or cancel them in my next broadcast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't forget Spoon After Dark. Do you remember that? We don't need to get into names.
Oh, yes.
But animals. If you missed the Spoon After Dark shit, I actually had to go up on a panel and defend former Choice and Originals. Well, I was like, yo, you motherfuckers would not say that shit to their face.
No, they would. Those same group of kids used to come into my streams and be like, what up, man? Kind of shit. And that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're waiting, and as soon as the Originals were canceled and we were weak, they were like, "Oh, we smell blood in the water," and they went for it.
All the weirdos.
They got a lot of they got clout. They got a lot of laughs out of it, and that's how unfortunately the podcasting and the streaming world is. People are cutthroat. And so I feel like, I don't know, did Adam 22 even issue an apology?
No, what he did was, instead of issuing, he did apologize. There was a level of accountability. He did an episode where he basically came on the No Jumper news clip or news show and addressed it. And he showed screenshots where he addressed the editors saying, hey, these things need to be removed. But that's not the problem, right? The problem is just this. Adam 22 has an issue that Vlad has had. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there, right? I don't use the term culture vulture because I understand what it means. There's weight behind that term. But there are people, even people on his own channel, who believe that sometimes the way that Adam moves in regards to these things is, fucked up, right? He doesn't understand the Black community. He doesn't understand the Latino community. He doesn't understand the Mexican community. And there's a reason I differentiated in that, because they like to be differentiated. And that causes a lot of drama.
Look, I me being a light skin, I'm half white. Who am I to say the following statement? But I'm going to anyway.
Say that shit.
I've always had an issue with Adam 22 because I perceive him as a white guy trying to be down with hip hop culture, and not only that, but also exploit hip hop culture for his own gain.
Well, it's not just hip hop culture. So there's a guy on there by the name of AD. Mad respect to AD. Shout out to AD, man. He's like the realest dude I've never met, man. I love this dude. I love the way he moves, man. And I feel like Adam not only tries to get into Black culture, he tries to bring people on from gang culture. And he wants to have the rub from gangbangers.
He wants to be down. He wants to be Yeah.
There are consequences. There are consequences for that shit. There's consequences.
And so here's the thing. I do feel like because he's coming from that way, I can't even speak on their friendship. I don't know how close they are, but what I'm saying is I feel like him being kind of an outsider, since he's exploiting the lifestyle in the community,
right?
He might as well exploit his friend who's black.
Okay, so you bring up a great point here. And because Bex asked, whose fault is that though? Who gave that man the power he has? Black women, Bex. My bad.
Yes.
I'm just fucking with
not
you.
black women. I thought you were
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm sorry to immediately agree. Black people, but not black women. Not
but mostly black women.
Because they have close to 4.5 million subscribers.
And I would gather at this point,
it's mostly black people.
I would gather at this point I need to see the demographics, like honestly, but I would gather it's mostly black at this point.
I'm saying if you can't appreciate like the black community, hip hop culture, whatever, you're not going to last 5 minutes watching or listening to one of their podcasts. So it has to be black. There's basically the only white people listening are wickers.
I hate that word. But let me put it down like this on an after dark.
I love the word because it's so offensive, but I feel like it's offensive.
It's offensive to them, and never mind. We'll get into that another time. Maybe we'll do a wigger episode when we have no news to report on, like what is a wigger. Here's my issue with No Jumper, right? So No Jumper pivoted, right, at a point when it was Cam Girl, Adam 22, and fucking House Phone. They had kind of run their course. Cam Girl left the show because she didn't want to be involved in a bunch of drama constantly. Now, when I say drama, I really should say the word controversy. She didn't want to be a part of like outing people, exposing people. At one point, Adam brought on Selena Powell, the former girlfriend of DJ Academics. Also, I don't want to call her video vixen, but she's an industry thought is the best term. She's a woman that slept with a bunch of hip hop artists, rap artists, and was exposing them. And he gave her a show along with another young lady. I forget her name, but it was called The Thoughts Next Door or something to that effect.
I love that name, by the way.
And Van Lathan, formerly of TMZ, famously, he had that moment with Kanye. He's the black guy who told Kanye off for saying a bunch of crazy shit when he was there with Kanye.
Right.
Van Lathan reached out to Adam and said, hey, maybe this isn't a good look. And then Adam agreed, and said, I don't want to have a show where basically someone's exposing black men on a day-to-day level. I know Bex would say, expose them if they're doing dirt.
Yeah, it's a white dude exposing black men constantly.
Yeah, and that's the issue that people have had with Vlad over the years. So I agree with Bex's sentiment. Don't feed that narrative and there won't be anything for you to show, right? I think at this point, man, honestly, I would love to see all the content creators on there. Sharp, AD, T-Rel, all talented people, even Poetic Flacco, who catches a lot of shit. I think he is talented. Lush, I think they should all focus on doing their own things because it's become clear to me that No Jumper is no longer a place where you go to enjoy content. It's where you go to enjoy bullshit.
Drama.
Yeah.
This is what it is. The people are like, I can't believe somebody pulled out a gun. I can't believe they had a fist fight on set. It's drama, and people love drama. People eat that shit up. Beck says, I was about to go the fuck off, not the wigger.
Love it. Yo, did you catch that Dragon Lady said, bish?
yes, and that was when I was saying I'd sell any one of them out for clout. That's what that's clearly what Dragon Lady was referring to, right?
Amazing. So you're okay. I mean, I guess it's a deeper conversation here, right? We talked about it pre-game for the show. Should House Phone be ashamed that he had some type of relationship or relations with a transgender woman?
Well, that ain't none of my business. But I will say this before we continue this episode, I just got to say, remember, I know this is once again the younger generation or people. A lot of people have this kind of phrase where they're like, "We don't kink shame in here." Spoon was the first time I saw "We don't kink shame in here." Well, I got news for you guys. I will shame whoever the fuck I want, and so I do kink shame. I will absolutely kink shame if I think you're that weird. However, I will say, if he likes transgendered women, that's cool. Like I said, that ain't none of my business. That's not something I'll shame. I won't shame that. However, I reserve the right to shame anyone for any reason, and especially for a king.
You're a real American. I love that about you, man. I love that for you. You're a real American. Like, that was the best double talk I've ever heard. I'm accepting, but I'm judging you.
Yeah. and when it is, you know what it is? Too often in this world, people pretend that they're not judging. You're all judging. Everyone's judging at all times. You're judging other things. Trust me, if you're not judging the dude who's with the trans girl, then you're the type of person to judge. You're like, look at that happily married couple who lives in the Midwest and they only have sex missionary style. There's always a reason to judge somebody.
Amen. 2 pumps in a dump. Shout out to the missionaries.
Yeah, so okay. I look for, I'm fine with kink shaming people. I'm not going to call this out because this isn't particularly that weird. If that's his thing, that's his thing. That's him and his wife and him and his community. You know what I mean? Okay,
so that's actually great that you brought that up, man, because he doesn't have a wife, but he does have a girlfriend who's not in the public eye. And some of the other contributors on No Jumper were saying, hey, you could have cost him his relationship. They're like, listen, you don't understand how this thing is approached by large in the black community. Like, you could have cost him more than you know. House Phone actually went on Academic's show and got into a beef with some of the guys that in Academic's Discord, but he brings them up on a live call and he's like defending himself. I got mad respect for House Phone because he came out and just said, hey, this happened. Whatever. I'll stand on my on my own to defend myself. I just think it's mad messy. Like, yo, here's the thing, right, Mantis? I'm not looking for views that way. Someone comes up and says to me, Mantis has sex with alien dolls, and they want to say this on the live show. If my editor didn't catch it, I'm firing my editor.
Yeah.
But before that, I'm not bringing that person up if they told me that prior to the show. You're not going to come up and say a bunch of breezy shit about my homeboy and then get a platform like that.
What Adam had to know. Adam had to know he's a Judas, man.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no way. Here's what I'm saying. They've got millions of subscribers. They make money. They can afford editors who really work their asses off. I don't think anything would go by Adam without him knowing.
Yeah. 100%.
Him saying, oh, sorry, the editor missed it. What? That's the most important part to edit.
Yeah, you got one job. You got one job. You got one fucking thing.
For instance, I don't know. So, let's say I'm doing a YouTube video and I hold up my phone and my porn's on the screen.
Right. And the fact that you know all the names of every porn actress that's ever existed, I don't ever hold that against you.
Who is this trans girl, by the way? What's her name? I know that bitch. No.
I have it pulled up just in case the audience wanted to know. It's Gracie Jane.
Gracie Jane. I don't know that one, but I don't really mess with trans folks. But that's all good. Princess Rex says, "Look at the shade room, just thriving." Rogue Great is laughing. Nah, I'm kink shaming. Y'all are a little nasty. Yeah, if people, that's what I'm saying. If somebody really came on my show and was like, I bang dolls or I whatever, I reserve the right to make fun of them or to judge them or to make them feel bad about their lives.
Right. No, absolutely.
Like if somebody's no offense to anyone who's a furry, but straight up furries are weird, man, and I'm not gonna pretend like it's not.
Yeah.
I think Steve just exposed Mantis's kink. What's my kink?
I said that you were into Japanese dolls.
The Japanese dolls. Well, that's normal. Every red-blooded American likes those Japanese body pillows with girls painted on them.
My Little Pony.
My Little Pony, the brony. Oh,
yuck. Yuck.
It's all messed up going on there. Honestly, my prediction, I honestly think, and this is not me, I have no ill will toward Adam 22. My prediction is I think that he will eventually meet his end by firearm. I think someone's going to kill him one day.
Interesting you said that. Not the firearm part, but I wouldn't, it's not unlikely. So AD and a few other people have all spoken out about this, and they have said, like, yo, this is the type of stuff that'll make me leave this channel. Now, these are all paid contributors, and AD is probably the highest paid contributor, but he has his own stream called Community. He even said, if this is the direction we're going in, I'm out.
Of course, because what this is saying is one of their OGs isn't even safe to scrutiny.
Right.
Then anyone's up for it. What's he gonna do? Is Adam 22 having detectives follow these guys? And he's like, I found some dirt on AD. Let me get him. That's no way to fucking run a channel.
Listen, everyone knows that here at the Hold Up TV network, on the Hold Up TV network, I got your back even when you're wrong. I'll say it to you privately, and Mantis will attest to that.
Right,
like, yo, you are wrong. But publicly, I got your back. I got your back. I'm never gonna let anyone bring any smoke unanswered.
Yeah, you have to have a like unified front, and like the fact, I have like this whole incident has made me like really like I have like no respect for Adam anymore.
It's made me respect you more as a friend, man. I was thinking after watching this, I'm like, man, Mantis knows that I would clap him if this happened. I'm like,
right. I'm actually surprised the guns haven't come out over there yet. But like, it's totally crazy. But trust me, and any affairs you have with transgendered pornographers, I will help cover up. I promise.
Wait, what? I'm gonna drop the link if anyone wants to watch the Sludge Lords episode. Give me 1 second, and I'll get that for you.
Just Sludge Lords, because that's how this. Yeah,
and also another interesting thing: his co-host Danny, very controversial figure. I can't even get into how controversial this guy is, but
we could do an episode in the future about them.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Let me go back to our
sexually charged stories I need to get to tonight. Before we
go for it. Let's move on.
But let's finish up with our thing. Rebeck says, I'm still side-eyeing a certain rap girly who likes getting peed on.
Oh, who was that? Was that Coy LeRae? My favorite little dude, Coy LeRae. Coy LeRae, I love you.
Rogue Radio says, oh my god, I heard about that. Luckily, I'm never wrong, says Bex.
You were wrong right there by saying that.
I've seen her be wrong, so she is.
Yeah, multiple times.
So our second story has to do with the police. Now, obviously, just saying the word the police, it's going to create all sorts of feelings within you. We have different relationships with the police. Some people are like, Blue Lives Matter. Other people are like, all cops are bastards, right? That whole thing. Right. So this is, let me ask you, the crowd, the chat, the people out there, how do you feel about this story coming out of, I can't even pronounce it, La Vergne, Tennessee? So apparently there was a girl or officer, uniformed officer, named Megan Olivia Hall.
Right,
Paw Patrol is my cop.
Paw Patrol
propaganda. Paw Patrol is pretty cool. Also, if you like Transformers rescue bots, where they work closely with the rescue agencies, including some nice police folk to help. That's for the kids. It's for the kids. But anyway,
are such a Transformer nerd, and now that we say the word Transformer, I don't want anyone to think I'm using a derogatory term. We're talking about Transformers, the robots that pretend to be cars. Yeah.
Not the derogatory term meant for people that House Phone likes.
Whoa.
So Michelle says, "Oh Lord." She took after police.
Let me lay the framework out here, right? Haven't we all wanted in the workspace the type of coworker where you're like, man, if I could just have a coworker that cared about my personal development, cared about my mental health,
and how frustrating the job is. Being a police officer can be very frustrating. You need to get that frustration out.
Exactly. And imagine you had a coworker, male or female, that said the only way to cure mental health issues within the department is to suck them out. Just suck them right out of there.
If anyone listening who doesn't know the story, hasn't guessed already, yes, young Megan, and it's spelled like a redneck. It's Maegan. That's just a weird spelling. Megan Hall had relationships with the entire police department in
Everyone.
Lavenge, Tennessee. I'm completely mispronouncing that. I don't know if it's French or it's Algonquin or whatever, but she has been caught blowing officers on duty in their squad cars, has had threesomes with certain officers' wives, and has ended up not only getting fired and disgracing herself, but leading to at least 8 other officers and detectives being fired as well. Their careers are over.
You know what the crazy thing is? I wish this was the only version of this story, but there's also a story about another police officer who gave her lieutenant a lap dance. Right?
You just seems like a good officer to me. That's the type of officer I want working under me.
I'm trying to tell you, when it comes to building a safe, inclusive work environment, these are the foundational blocks you need to ask yourself.
Yeah. And so basically what I'm going to do is we can do a little quick picture show, but real quick. RM says, yeah, but someone like that probably has deep mental issues, including sexual addiction. So RM, I would agree with you on that. And so actually what's funny? I don't know if this guy got any out of the situation. I'm sorry to be funny and smirk about this, guys. But there is one officer who said at one of the parties when she was stripping, he put a jacket on her and he tried to, keep her honor going, right? This guy also said, he said she took an empty gun, she pulled out all the bullets and just started clicking it against her head.
Well, that's safe.
Well,
at least she emptied. Did she get the one out the round, out the chamber?
Yeah, she emptied it in front of him. It was clearly empty, but she was just wanted to. And she says, "I just want to know what it feels like." So obviously, this chick has some mental problems,
right?
Maybe sex addiction.
You can't say chick. You can't say chick, by the way.
I can't say chick.
No.
Why?
It's chauvinistic.
I said that I'm going to kink shame, which means I'll also use old nomenclature. Bitches, hoes, tricks, and chicks, man. You should be happy I'm not using the first 3, right?
I'm just saying, chicks are baby birds that come out of eggs, not for a fully formed woman.
Okay, birds. We'll call them birds.
Bird brains.
Rogue Radio says, well, it is Tennessee. No hate to the state, but
been there.
Secondly, is that girl spreading her cat around?
She's spreading around like butter going over many pieces of toast.
Wait, she was with wives? Yeah, she was with wives as well.
Yes.
And so, it's funny. She told everyone at her precinct that she had an open marriage. However, when this poor sucker, and we're gonna look at the pictures of this horrible situation. This poor simp. His name is Jedediah.
Ooh, sounds like
He's a park ranger. This poor simp saw her.
He's a park ranger. Those cops were like, I'm sorry, lewd comment inbound. When they were digging her out, they were like, "Oh, your husband's a park ranger. I'm doing the public service right now." The guys with the cargo shorts.
Yeah, he actually saw. He apparently saw them at a party, and she was making out with some dude's wife, and he got very upset. And so it showed the rest of the precinct that they were like, "Oh, that's not an open marriage."
Right.
Mixed with possible suicide. Yeah, I mean, she probably has a lot of issues.
And she's also married to a park ranger, so I'm sure at some point
that will fuck you up. That is absolutely true. Yeah,
Beck said he knew his wife was a hoe.
He had to.
Oh, they definitely made fun of him on numerous occasions. Bex 100%. They did 100%.
Yeah. So what I do, this is a funny thing that I do all the time.
Oh boy.
I like to look up the people on the internet. So this is the hoe in question. And so I like to look up the people on the internet, and I found her on Instagram, and she had a close like a private account, and I sent a friend request, and she accepted it.
Wait. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Back it up. This is after dark. That means we're in the truth sector. When you sent that friend request, was it a part of you that said, yeah?
Was I trying to arrange a meetup? Yes. Yes, okay. I'll admit it. I'm man enough to admit it. She's a celebrity who's known for her head. So
Superhead.
It turned out they did accept it, and I was like, this is crazy. This is nuts. But what's funny is it's all these pictures of her through her life and like a teenager and high school and all these things, school graduation. But all of her comments are loose shit. Like it shows her graduating from high school, and she's like, I blew 6 of my teachers that same day.
No. Wait. Repeat that. What?
It was clearly a joke account.
Okay.
They were getting pictures, but it really looks like a real account. But then when you read the captions, they're ridiculous. But okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at this chick right here. So this is her. The funniest tweet I've seen about this is somebody said these officers lost their jobs just to hook up with a girl who looks like Morty from Rick and Morty.
Yes,
she does look like she does.
Yes.
So here's an officer who lost his job.
No, hold up for a second. Why's your man got the blue still look from Zoolander?
Because you know how cops are, man. You know how cops are. They want to be. This guy clearly became a cop because he has issues and he wants to be known as the man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness! Amazing.
He knew his wife was a hoe. I totally agree. I did.
Egghead ass bitch.
Did you add her, Mantis? Yes. So it's a fake her. So I'm assuming she's probably laying low or some shit. But,
I'm sure she is.
But I'll find her. You know who I did find, and I wasn't trying to get with her or anything. Rachel Dolezal.
Oh, she's got an OnlyFans now.
Oh my god! Back in the day when that's happened, she had a private Twitter, and she like only accepting, Twitter friendships that are real. And I was like, "Yo, I stand with you," and I sent the thing, and she accepted me. And for a while, I was like one of her peoples. She only had like 100 people on there, and I was one of them. And I was like, "This is cool." I'm a total stranger to her, but she was like. She probably saw my light skin and was like, I understand.
You're black enough, is what she was saying. She's like, you're black enough.
It's funny that show Blackish.
I was about to go there, but
literally describes me. I'm Blackish. Look, here's another guy.
Hell no. Yo, hold on for a second, Mantis. Crew joke inbound. If I were a husband, right, to this woman. And you were showing me the pictures of the men who had coitus or made the beast with 2 backs with my wife. These are not the pictures I want to see.
Especially wait till you see him. His pictures at the end. That's going to be the punchline. This is straight out of a porn. This is out of a porn right now. This is one of those cuckold porns.
She forgot the money for her pizza. Call Dr. Umar.
Yeah, maybe his herbs will fix my whiteness. Is that what you're saying? But yo, so check this out. So this guy's name is Seneca Shields. Also lost the bus. But isn't Seneca Shields such a funny name? That's a black ass name, and that's also like what's a porn star's name?
Seneca Shields.
Yeah, so this guy lost.
Go ahead.
Let's look at all the people whose jobs were lost. So here's her and her husband.
Oh no, he looks so happy.
They look so sweet and innocent, right?
Is his name Josh?
His name is Jed Adaya.
Oh no,
a simple park ranger from Tennessee.
Poor Jed Adaya.
Another cop who plowed his woman.
No, not this motherfucker. Not this motherfucker.
K9 division.
No, yo, if anyone's deep dicking It's that dude right there.
No, it looks like a zombie movie. He's gonna die like in the first 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, he's definitely. Oh hell no!
Yeah. Yes, it wasn't just black dudes. Remember, she got with a whole department. She got with the whole department, including women. So
this is probably more of a thing for Bex's show, Pillow Talk. But each person you've shown, they look like they're packing, including this guy. Look at his face. That's a guy that knows he's got 9 inches or better. He's like, I'm packing. He's like, I'm packing heat. The tube stoss it's real.
Rogue Radio says someone hydrate Steve.
Yeah.
And Rebeck says that poor ginger fool. Yeah.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Looks like a real sucker.
Can you please change the picture right now?
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh
fuck.
And of course they had to drag a Latino into this.
Poor George. Poor George.
And so look that's the husband. Look at this poor beta. It's beta cuck. What a freaking man, he's probably a nice guy too. So guys, you guys want to hear the most horrific thing ever? The news, because this has been going on for the last couple of days, but the news report that actually has come out today was that the husband, Jedediah, has decided to stick with his wife.
That's love. That's love. That's love.
I'm sorry. If any of you lucky ladies are lucky enough to end up with the Mantis, you don't want to know what would happen if this happened.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This reminds me of The Haven in a way where it's like, let me choose my words carefully.
When we used to fuck other people's girlfriends, yeah.
Well, that's my point to these type of guys are that never mind.
I was trying to see. I was like, in what wholesome way can he possibly bring up The Haven?
Wait, I'm just trying to say, man, like, man, how can I say this without sounding like a complete pig? Let me just go for it. Could you, man or woman, people in the chat, would you date someone that you know has actively had sex with more than 5 people on the job while you were in a relationship with them?
So one thing I want to say is that Rogue Radio said earlier that he knew his wife was a hoe. He did.
No, that was Bex. That was Bex.
Oh, that was Bex. Sorry, Bex. And the truth is that he not only knew that, he probably knew he had to have known she was a sex addict.
Oh, 100%.
And that's probably why he's putting up with it right now.
Well, wait, what makes you qualify her as a sex addict? Because there's a distinction between a moral conundrum and someone who is a sex addict.
Can we
there's a difference. I hate to be the one to spoil it.
Here's what I'm saying. Is it all right if we talk so freely that once again I kink shame and I talk about what is normal and what is abnormal?
Go for it. Go for it.
Because I think that nowadays that's what people's problem with kink shaming and everything else is. No one ever wants to say anything is abnormal, and there is definitely things that are abnormal. So at least the way society in the world it has it is that humans are normally monogamous, and they cheat either. And so check out the reasons that are considered normal cheating. Normal cheating is you're mad at your spouse and you bang someone else out of vengeance, or you fall in love with someone else and you're not willing to leave your spouse, and then you're having an affair on the side. And so, however, her thing falls into neither of those. What she did was just fuck literally everybody and suck off everyone who just walked past her. The reason why I hit her up on Instagram is I have a feeling that like I could probably finagle it. She doesn't even know.
Wait. Hold on.
I would say that's a sex addict. I would say that's abnormal sexual behavior.
No. That's not what falls under it, right? So if we're going by the categorization that sex addicts follow, most people think of sex addicts. They think of Sex Addicts Anonymous, right? And they're thinking of a 12-step model. So if they're following that 12-step model, it's chronic, it's progressive, it's incurable, right? So we're talking about people who are usually in that fellowship who declare that, hey, I have a chronic condition that I almost have no control over outside of this program. I know it sounds like an oxymoron. So most sex addicts who go to Sex Anonymous meetings are saying that prior to coming to the meeting, my situation was debilitating and it was chronic and it continued to get worse. But I do believe there are people who just do things the same way I just believe there are people who just do drugs. There's no issue there. They don't have an issue with doing it. There's no consequences that they're fearing. They're just like, no, I'm going to smoke this crack pipe. Then I'm going to fuck this furry. I'm thinking that this woman.
Wait, hold on. I love how you said it like it was normal. You just kept talking like it wasn't. Like the world is cracking up right now. Give us,
bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. I was in the human services field. There are some people who want you to believe that they're sex addicts because they're like, oh, that protects me. But let's keep it all the way a buck. You and
I've had somebody claim to be a sex addict for some ill behavior when really we're just a selfish person.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. But that man is a park ranger. So, ladies in the chat, if here's
what it is. Here's what it is. He's not just a park ranger with a stupid grin on his face. He's a park ranger with a stupid fucking backpack, and not a cool backpack. It looks like a Jehovah's Witness backpack.
Yo, get out of my mind. We've been hanging out for too long. The first thing I zeroed on was like, this motherfucker's got a backpack on.
Oh, man, this poor guy. This poor fucking guy. Yo, I'm sick of the poor shame this poor guy has.
Oh, my goodness. It's horrible. You're a horrible person.
Are we sure he hasn't participated in any of these 3 acts? So, no, he didn't know. He's definitely not. He's definitely was not part of it. Right?
He's not cuckolding.
Dragon Lady says, hell no. Don't you dare, Mantis. No, I would never really get with her. But I find it interesting to follow the social medias of deranged.
He would. Don't let this motherfucker lie to you. He would. He'd be like, listen, don't call me after this. But
I'm saying if she happened to be in New York State, what am I going to say? No? You know? Sex addiction is when sex is controlling your life. In this case, she had to know she could get fired and lose her husband. Yes, I agree.
I disagree with that. How would someone know they're a sex addict without saying, yes, I suffer from this malady? We don't know if this woman is actually categorized as a sexual addict. We just don't.
Right. We really don't. Yeah, no, I'm not going to diagnose her. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what her fucking problem is, but she clearly has some serious problems. But I just feel bad for Mr. Mormon back there, whatever the fuck he is, in his backpack, for staying with this woman.
Oh my goodness!
Dragon Lady says, "I keep my man satisfied and plenty crazy. He doesn't need to go anywhere." Exactly. Nah, she's just a whore and clearly wants to live out her fantasy with a real man in uniform since Princess Bex.
Wow, Bex with the fire, with the ether.
Here's what it is. I love it when people lay it down, and Princess Bex has laid it the fuck down. I fucking love this.
She also said she's divorcing you as we speak.
Wait, why? Oh, because I get with her? If I had a beautiful woman like you on my arm, Bex, I would not need this hoe. I would not fuck with this hoe. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
The town hoe I have no use for when I have a girl like you, Bex. Rogue says, Mantis, you're better than that. Oh, you guys are so supportive, except for Bex. She's just tearing me apart, but so supportive on this. Thank you. I just like to follow fucked up people. Oh, look at this one.
Oh boy.
This is her seeing the paparazzi and they got her.
Wait, I'm very interested in the fact, Mantis, that you didn't bring up a picture of the young lady that the house phone had coitus with.
Oh, I mean, we definitely could do that. I want to see if there's any more good treasures up in here.
She's mid at best, right?
She is mid at best. That's the thing. Oh, look at that. Oh,
wait. I'm sorry. I said mid, below mid.
She's definitely below mid. Are you kidding me? And I wonder. Here's another thing. I wonder. Do you think that self-esteem? It must play a role in these kinds of things.
Well, I mean, here's the problem with 12-step model versions of addiction, right? Anyone who declares themselves something is that thing, right? According to that model. Is this woman really a sex addict, or is she just someone who decided I'm going to do these things?
Yes.
I believe. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how do we, clinically declare her a sex addict if she hasn't said that herself?
Can I be a nerd for a quick second?
Model.
You like Twilight Zone?
You know I love me some Twilight Zone, motherfucker.
So there's one called Penny for Your Thoughts.
Oh, arguably the best episode ever. Arguably.
The guy gets telepathic powers and he's reading people's minds and he's fucking up all day, trying to predict what people are going to do from the thing. And at the end, what's interesting is after he loses his telepathic powers, he looks off and she says, what's wrong? And he says, people think about things all day with no intention of doing them at all. Meanwhile, people will do things without giving it a second thought. And that's what it is. That's true as humans. Sometimes we all, I know what you're saying. Sometimes we do shit.
Just
don't give it a thought at all. They're like, Mantis, why did you just do that? I can't fucking tell you. I just did it. Yeah. You know, there's other times I'll think about something all the time and never do it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying you can't always shove people into a category, a clinical category, where they don't belong. There is a clinical category for sex addicts versus what you see in a 12-step model. What the fuck, Mantis? What are you?
I was just following the story. This is the shit that they had. They had her write-ups.
Ooh.
On here as well.
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Oh yeah, go crazy. What else we got? So Rogue Radio says people down south fuck dogs. This isn't the worst thing ever. Rogue Radio is trying to say this isn't even news to her. She's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Down south, we do that shit all the time. Okay. Chili. I'm not gonna speak on her looks, but that big ass head. So I wish my partner was still here. We'll catch him up. So people have pointed out that this seems to be the year of the Ugbo. Ugbo being my term, because she's making the news. You know who else is making news? That guy who ripped off all that money from the crypto exchange. His girlfriend. Let me see if I can find that.
Who snitched? Who snitched, Bex?
Oh, who did snitch? I don't know. I don't freaking know. You know what's really funny in the article that I was reading about it?
What's up?
One of the officers was also in trouble for strangling the human resources person involving this. So apparently the human resource person tried to write him up and he literally strangled the shit.
Well, he's just living the American dream. What has there not been a time where you were like, yo, if I get my hands on HR, if I can just get my hands around their throat.
Oh my God, I feel you on that. HR is they're the worst.
We really did stretch this shit. We really did. He says, hey, I resent that remark. We really did stretch this shit out to an hour and 18. I was worried for a little bit. Now, Mantis, I'm gonna go completely left. We're going hold up TV left right now, right? So put yourself in. I'm looking at this young lady here, and this shows me that the feminists are correct. Because I don't know if these men were actually genuinely attracted to who she was as a person. I'm saying that I don't know if they looked at her and said, I enjoy your spirit, I enjoy you. They might have been just using her as a form of self-gratification. And I hate
well, obviously they were using her for that, but like I'm saying, what about the ability to say no? Why does she not have that ability?
well, she has that ability, but what about these guys? Could they not look at this person and go, I'm doing wrong here?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and probably this is gonna be unpopular amongst our female viewers, but
Are you gonna call her Butterface? Is that where you're going?
no, what I'm saying is, since she has this many accounts, either she works in the horniest police precinct that ever existed, or she gave them reason to believe that could get some if they came onto her.
I don't know. She looks like a nice young lady. I think she might have been.
That's the point. That's the crazy point. That's why the pictures are important. She looks like a normal bitch. There's nothing normal about her at all, bro. Oh, wait. Is this? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I was going to put on the image of
love the show. I love this show. Shout out to Fanboy Modeling School. I love this show. I love when we go to this place. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna do a quick image from a certain website.
Wait. Dragon Lady said it's the cat. What cat? Is there a cat in the background? Is it like where's
I think
Waldo?
that's code for pussy.
Oh, is that what the kids are calling it? Go ahead.
And the fact that it's a free kitty. But here's what I'm saying. They have to put that out. Here's what I'm saying. As a man, I do not try to bang every woman I'm alone with.
Cap.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Cap. I'm calling Cap on that shit. I'm calling.
I just whip it out. I'm like, "What up, baby?"
I'm calling Cap. I call full Cap. I know you, nigga. I'm
not trying to bang every chick that's I'm alone with. And so, what would lead these men to think they were going to get some from her?
No. Don't, Mantis, don't do that. You know, if you put a tenderloin in front of a dragon, even if the tenderloin is of subpar quality, the dragon's gonna be like, "Well, it's tenderloin." I'm calling
someone who got jealous that he wasn't the only person who she fucked. Yes, absolutely. Rogue Radio. That's what Rogue Radio suggests.
She looks like a third grade teacher.
RM, you are absolutely right. I'm having flashbacks to third grade right
now. You see how he said he was having a flashback? I've known this man for many a moon. That's why I call Cap on it. I know the real Mantis from the Haven. Like, if she shows up, he's like,
okay, so wait, hold on, Bex. I have men do. You say
we do. We have self-control, Bex. We have
do, and so that's why I do agree that the officers should be fired.
Wait, can we keep it a buck though? Men have self-control, but we differentiate our self-control. It's like, yeah, my self-control expressed in this moment is, I promise you, ugly Becky, you'll never be my wife. That's self-control right there. That's right.
Bex says, huh?
You know what I'm saying, Mantis. It's, women have that.
I do know what you're saying, but I do think, here's what I'm saying. Men do have self-control. They should be held responsible. I do believe here's what I'm saying.
Oh boy.
I do not whip it out. I do not whip it out when
politically correct shit.
I'm saying these men, it's not like she's a temptress, but I'm saying they had to have been flagged in, flagging for landing, like they do on the aircraft carriers with the glow sticks.
Yes.
The glow sticks are like, come on, they're flagging them in for a landing. She had to have done that. Right?
Okay.
Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, let me know.
Why do I want to look at her picture and say, "Shut up, Meg"? Amazing.
Dragon Lady says, but is it single? Because if it's not the dragon, it's gonna mess with it. But did I read that wrong?
One more time, Dragon Lady.
But is it single? Because if it's not the dragon, it's not gonna mess with
I don't know if Dragon Lady is plugging herself or.
it. Throw the whole building away. Start over fresh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The men couldn't control themselves, and like I do.
No, don't do that. Don't say the men couldn't control themselves. Here's what happened, right? Here's the difference. Here's the
tango, and it took me until I was in adulthood to realize that's not just about fighting. That's also about fucking.
They didn't need to control themselves because what if she was the aggressor? What if she was the seducer?
But still, they should, as men, they were fucking in the building and in their squad cars. They have to know when, like, to say no, and they're responsible for not controlling themselves in that sense. Like, here's the thing.
Here's what they're responsible for. According to me, you could be 100% correct, right? You should be able to pull your joint out of a fly trap. 100%. I agree with that. But let's lay blame equally. If this woman is saying, hey, I have an open relationship, I would like to, what's the politically correct term for this? Let me see if I can search for it. Suck you off. And you don't have to worry about my husband being mad. It's not about them being able to control themselves. She's saying that, okay, this is good. I'm going to do this. That's that.
Yes. However, I'll tell you this. All these officers lost their jobs for having sex either in a squad car or on the premises of the
well,
police.
That's different. We're talking about a different thing. But if we're just talking about people having human relations.
I agree. Here's what I absolutely agree with you. If they were to, if he was flirting with like the chick during work and they go to a hotel afterwards, it is nothing. It is not the state of Tennessee's business. However, these guys all got caught doing it in the station, which makes it even like more fucked up.
Yeah, if you get caught doing sexual acts in state property or in the state building, okay, I get that. But if it's a person saying to you like, hey, I have an open relationship, right?
I feel you. I feel you. I do believe that like here's what it says. I'm chastising these men for doing it in the building or in their squad car. And that's why I think they need control. However, if they want to go do something, if a woman's like, I have an open marriage, want to go to a hotel after work, that I'm fine with that. I have no problem.
Yeah. As long as they're not strangling black people to death, go do your thing.
Twitter had a whole ball with this one. They're like,
yes, they did.
Stops getting fired for sex, but not getting fired for killing black people.
Wait. Can you read RM's post? Because I think that's on point. Most of these men heard the gossip about this woman being loose, and they made the conscious choice to hit it. Right. I get that, RM, and I'm right there with you. I'm your biggest advocate. But they heard the gossip about her being loose. That's one thing. But then she proved that she was with the business. That's not on them, right? That's not on them.
It's on both parties, bro. You have to admit it's both parties.
No, it's on both parties, but I'm not saying it's singularly on them. If she says, yo, I'm with the business, and they say I'm with it too, that's both parties. The tenderloin is single. If not, the dragon is not going to mess with it.
Oh, I dig it. So the tenderloin has to be single.
Gotcha.
The dragon will not eat the tenderloin. I dig that. I feel that.
Wrong, because we're not talking about a dragon that's constrained with like relationship goals or constraints. Like that's not what we're talking about. Like you put something in front of a person and say, hey, I'm in an open relationship, which you said earlier, right? If someone tells a person they're in an open relationship, it's like, well, okay, fuck it.
I absolutely agree, and I understand the analogy of putting a steak in front of a creature, and the creature's like, "I'm going to eat this shit." I just feel like I feel fine with them being fired because every one of the people who were let go, as opposed to the rest of the precinct, it was because they were caught doing it, or someone someone confessed that they did it on, on property.
Mantis, I want you to keep it a buck for a second, man.
Okay.
I want you to keep it so much a buck that you know that I know you, right? And I know everything that you've done. Most things, but the dirtiest things I know that you've done. So let's say hypothetically, a boyfriend says, "Hey, go ahead and do it." Are you going to do it?
Wait, what?
Let's say a boyfriend says, "This is my lady. I'm okay with it." Are you going to do it?
You got to understand. Everyone's probably like, "What's he saying?" He's laying a stealthy.
No. I think they understand. I'm going to lay it out one more time. There's a young lady,
Yes,
right?
okay, let me
heterosexual.
Let me tell it.
No, let me tell it, because that's the only way the truth will come out. I'm not referencing anything. I'm just telling a story. If as a young heterosexual male, right, or a mature heterosexual male, if the man says, "Get it," are you gonna get it?
Obviously, Mantis has gotten it, and yes, would get it. And so, what he is alluding to is back in the day, this dude I used to hang out with said, "My girlfriend has a crush on you. It's all right if you hook up with her." In which case, I did. But that doesn't make me a bad person. I was single.
I didn't say it makes you a bad person. I'm saying
I wasn't
that.
at work, and I'm not a cop. I wasn't a cop.
I'm not saying it makes you a bad person. I'm saying that you got to go ahead. So imagine if a woman said, "Hey, my husband's okay with it." How many people do you think are going to question that?
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. I think a lot of people would jump on that.
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying.
Arm says, "Oh yeah, it was consensual, but I'm saying they weren't out of control or seduced by some magical pussy monster." Yeah, I do think they need to show restraint as officers, and but however, I'm a huge proponent of if you're not on the clock, go fucking do whatever you want. They have no right to say anything.
Absolutely, don't fuck in government or state property. Don't do it.
Max says, "Clearly, this is a nerd show. We go from sex to dragons."
RM says, "Don't do it, Mantis."
and here's what I'm saying. You guys want to say, have I ever had sex at work? I've had sex at multiple works. Yes. Have I ever been a cop? No. However, if someone were to fire me for it, I would understand.
Absolutely amazing show. Fanboy After Dark.
Some dude with a cuck fetish is what Steve's talking about. Because it's how many of these men were single? So actually, one of the dudes, I think it might have been Seneca. He was saying how his wife threw him out. His wife threw him out, and he can't see his kids anymore. Currently, when she found out what happened. So not all these men were single. It's fucked up.
Yeah, you know what the craziest part of this segment was? Shout out to Fanboy Modeling School Fight Juice Online. The coldest part of this segment was you kept that picture up the entire time.
I wanted people to judge.
He's doing meta commentary. What he's actually doing is this woman good looking enough to get fired over? That's what he was actually doing.
You know me so well. I had it. I was like, think about it. Exhibit A, picture of the chick who sucked everyone off.
Hey, nigga, you work at a fucking.
You know what? I have another thing to show.
Wait, what do you do for a living? I'm a park ranger, and my wife is a cop. It's like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The cop that sucks everyone off. So guys, behold, I'm about to get real with it. I'm about to show something. It is actually on the Pornhub.
No.
No. It will not be any flash or anything. But you personally asked to look. You asked to look at a picture, and this is the only picture I could find.
I'm not sure if I asked for that.
Gracie Jane.
No, I didn't ask for it. I said I gave you a name. I didn't ask for.
Glamour. So this is Gracie Jane. This is the best picture I could get of Gracie Jane.
Oh my God! No, I sent them a link. You psychopath!
You sent me a link. I didn't know that.
I sent them a link in the chat. You psychopath.
All right. So, well, that happened. So before we wrap up tonight, there's a couple of things I do want to hit up. We've got another sexually charged story for After Hours, After Dark. Right. RM says this is X-rated. Nothing X-rated has happened. The police department is a petri. Yes, it really is a petri.
It is a petri dish. It was, yeah.
So I want to talk about Eliza Blue, and so
who did she blow?
That was good. That was good. I like that. For those of you who don't know, and you guys know that I love Elon Musk. Now, do I love him like a brother or like a family member? No. I like what he does.
Yes. For those of us that know you, yes, you do.
No, I like that he does freedom of speech. I like that he's into space. I love space. He's into things that a lot of us, dudes are into. And so I'm usually a defender of him.
Okay.
But he's been a bad boy. He's been a bad boy. That was my Chris Tucker impersonation.
This show's going everywhere.
Yeah. So here's basically what happened. So for those of you who don't know Eliza Blue is a woman who is possibly the celebrity rock star of trafficking. This woman is young and hot and beautiful. She's actually she's 41 actually, but still looks amazing. And she says in her since she was 15 on into her 20s, she was trafficked, a prisoner, and all these things. And she's an advocate, and she became a celebrity advocate of trafficking. And so when Elon Musk got rid of all the kitty porn on Twitter, which of course people like to defend the old Twitter, yet however the old Twitter runners didn't get rid of kitty porn, which is that fucking easy to get rid of. So he gets rid of it, and then he starts having these Twitter spaces, right? Every time he does something he thinks is awesome, he does Twitter spaces, and then he invites people on. And who he's been inviting is Eliza Blue. He's like, yeah, come on up. And they're getting along, and they love each other. When you see a Twitter relationship happening, people are like, yeah, I love you. You're awesome. I love you, blah, blah, blah. And they're giving each other love, right? Mantis wants to carry Elon's latest baby, says Aram. That's so cute. Bye, bros. I had fun. Yo, Rogue, have a good one. Have sweet dreams. Okay, I have to go. I will be on the other show. Okay, yes, definitely, Dragon Lady. So, where am I going with this? So, it is becoming increasingly apparent that people are bringing forth information to suggest that Eliza Blue was never trafficked. They have confirmations of places she's lived and done things in, which correspond with the timeline when she says she was trafficked. She says from the age of 15 and beyond, her ex-boyfriends and other things are stating that she was not trafficked. And since people are bringing this information to Twitter, what does Elon Musk, her new best friend, do? He is banning accounts that talk shit about her. He did it to the Quartering. He did it to Brittany Venti. I don't really know Brittany Venti too well, but she was also banned, and a bunch of other people were banned. And so basically, Elon Musk, Mr. Free Speech guy, is attacking people who attack one of his friends. Thoughts on this?
Well, okay. So here are my thoughts on it, right? You should always get your homeboy or your homegirls back. But you don't know Elon from a hole in the wall. What are your thoughts on it? Because this is the entire thing that he was built off of when he bought Twitter, right?
It just kind of shows you that every person is a hypocrite. Because basically no one is ever pure anything.
Okay.
Right? So look, you talked about Biden and his papers earlier, right? Biden claims to me, he's like, I'm the poster boy for being good. I'm awesome. Turns out he's not awesome.
Right.
And then Hillary too. Hillary's like, I'm the poster girl for doing everything right. Turns out there's a lot of things that aren't right, right? No one is sacrosanct. No one's a saint. This guy claimed to be the patron saint of free speech. Even he will not allow freedom of speech against his friends.
Well, I mean, okay, here's my thing, and this is like a real quick wrap up for me. I knew that he wouldn't be able to maintain this. He wouldn't be able to maintain free speech at the cost of free speech. At a certain point, your vested interest get involved, and his interests are to protect himself. So I just, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that this is happening. It doesn't. I'm sorry. I know you want to be one of his serfs in space.
I have to call him out for this. I have to call him out because I'm all about free speech, and I may have to mean tweet him. I may have to mean tweet this guy because he should not.
I think his money would have been better spent like doing something else other than Twitter, man. It just seems
whoa. You bite your goddamn tongue.
It just
hello, Melissa Milano. I didn't know you. I did a podcast with you. What is your take? What is your take? You think
my take is that the entire farce around him buying Twitter to perpetuate free speech is all bullshit. It's
bullshit now, right?
It's always been bullshit. It's always been bullshit.
Mario says, wait, I see people saying that she couldn't have been trafficked because her father is a politician. This is not proof. She's lying. Rich kids get into prostitution too. So,
Very true.
So, RM, I hear what you're saying. That's one of many things. The biggest evidence that they had is that they found her high school boyfriend. She was homeschooled, but her high school boyfriend was with her during the years she was supposedly started getting trafficked. And so that's what's making people question it. He was like, I was with her. I knew her. She lived in the country in my area until she was 18. She didn't leave until she was after 18.
And nothing bad happens in the country.
She claimed she was stolen from her family through drug use and stuff and forced prostitution at the age of 15. And so this guy dated her during the year she was supposedly enthralled. So here's what I'm saying. I don't claim to know if she was trafficked or wasn't trafficked. The bigger issue right now for me is how Elon is responding. Elon likes her. Elon loves these rock star bitches. Right? Okay. Grimes and all these other girls. He likes crazy ass fucking tattooed crazy bitches.
Right.
She's kind of old for him, right?
Okay.
She's 41. She's old for him. But the point is he's coming to her defense by limiting people's freedom of speech. It's just all fucked up shit.
But not surprising.
I know. It's not surprising.
It's not surprising.
I told you so. He's a bad queen.
It's Elon Musk. He's not some messianic figure that was like, hey, we need to do these things because of these moralistic standings.
I have several illegitimate children. I've named them Musk.
I don't want to be a part of this.
Musk, Elon, Wood Elf, and SpaceX. You telling me I shouldn't have named my kids this?
I'm saying, just like the New Year's episode, it's been great talking to you, bro.
Oh, you're running is what you're doing. Did you have any final thoughts about Avengers? I see you're not really into the.
Okay, real quick. The Avengers game, the failed experiment, which is the Avengers game that came out on PS4, Xbox, and on PC, available on Steam, is finally coming to an end. Support is coming to an end in February. It's done. No more updates, no more DLC characters. Now, let me be right-sized about this, right? We did get Black Panther. We did get Spider-Man. We did get Winter Soldier. We got Hawkeye. We got Kate Bishop. We got a lot of shit for free. I'm not mad about this because I think things that suffer should come to an end. In fact, on record right now and previous times, I think that the MCU should have come to an end after Endgame.
I do. But let me ask you.
Oh boy.
How did they fuck up an Avengers game?
It wasn't that the game was fucked up, right?
In the highest grossing fucking franchise in movie
it's
history.
Just that there wasn't enough content. Here's the problem, right? We are well past the point of Double Dragon with NPCs that are irrecognizable.
Is that what the game was like, Double Dragon?
Bro, I'm telling you that I fought more aimbots than anyone should have ever fought. And I was like, oh, wait, this is pointless. Everything I do is pointless.
That's fucking sad.
You understand what I'm saying, right? As a it's just aimbots. That's all it is. After a certain point, I'm fighting.
You're just grinding all the time on the game.
Exactly. Not grinding on the game. I mean, just
people know what grinding is.
I don't think they do. Just want to make sure they know.
To fuck up an Avengers game, that is epic and idiotic and stupid. Because here's what I'm saying: the biggest you have in your hands, the biggest franchise ever. That should have been a no-brainer how to pull that off. And
it should have been an easy win. And that's why it's the shortest story. I mean, I guess another honorable mention tonight could have been Jason Momoa and his cryptic thank you, David Zaslav
and Peter Safran,
James Gunn, all that ball.
Like, I'm so happy he posted that. I gotta say, if he continues to stick with DC, fuck Jason Momoa.
Wow, why do you hate Samoans and Hawaiians? What's going on there, bro?
I don't hate them as people. What I'm saying is he is siding with the evil side of DC.
Bro, why do you hate Jason Momoa? He's like
his
the Rock.
Friends just got fired in a
He's
very
like the Rock, but like -2.
Yo, I didn't call this, but Bex says more evidence for the divorce court. I don't know what you're talking about, Bex.
Bex hates marriage.
RM says Forspoken looks annoying. Is watching a Twitch stream of an earlier.
I want that fucking game.
You like it or no?
I want it. It looks good. I'm here for
it. I like an animation cutscenes that are mediocre. So I watched a Young Ripper video about how apparently a white reviewer said he didn't think it was believable because she lives in a world where she had no racial struggles being black. And that how she lives in a world where it's no different of that she's black as opposed to white people. I mean, is that ridiculous?
It's totally ridiculous. I'm sorry. The air filter stopped working in here.
Oh, this motherfucker's dead.
I'm going to play the game. I'll say this. The PC version has made me not want to play the PlayStation 5 version. The fact that you might need required 32 gigabytes of RAM to play it on PC, which I have. Got that to spare.
But still, that's crazy. That's a crazy
That's
demand.
nuts, bro. That's
And it's
fucking nuts.
crazy. I don't remember a game ever fucking asking that much.
That's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts.
But I think we have come to a conclusion to our After Dark. At the end of the day, men and women, no matter who you are, what you're into, avoid the hoes at your work. They will lead you astray and destroy your careers, man.
And avoid your boss because he might not have your back. He might just say, hey, it's content. Let's do it.
Don't worry, guys. I am secretly courting Steve all the time. I'm going to find him saying something very un-PC, and we will cancel him. You know,
you've said so many un-PC things tonight. You hate women. That's clear. You support Elon Musk. Even more clear. You're a libertarian pretending you don't like Trump. I think you're more cancelable than me.
I'm super cancelable. I've always been that guy. RM says, what's funny about that is that the actress who plays Frey in Forspoken has a rich daddy. She probably had no issues growing up. Laugh out loud. Her mom is a British celeb.
Nice.
Princess Beck says, hashtag fangirls for fan boys. We love you all. I've had an amazing episode. What about you, bro?
I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I like After Dark. This is great.
After Dark, we're going to talk about more uncomfortable sexual issues and just things that will make you cringe on our new After Dark from Fanboy Modeling School. Hopefully, we will have less of that, whatever noise he's making over there. But this is a Fat Mantis reminding you to like, share, subscribe, and comment to this video, to this channel. And remember to keep sharing with everyone the love that is Fanboy Modeling School. We can only do this off of your backs, our lovely fans. We love you so much. And you lift us up, and then we bring you gross-ass content about police officers who be blowing people all day long.
I love that you segmented it out like, oh, Steve's way too faded. But everything you just said was complete and utter
brilliance. Yes, no. Brilliance. Yeah. Go Tennessee police officers. But yo, did you have any
just make sure you tune into the Big Princess tomorrow. Oh, no, sorry, not tomorrow. Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
Pillow Talk. Holy
shit. Pillow Talk. We love you all. Until next time, ciao for now. Live that motherfucking dream, and don't let ugly hoes convince you to fuck at your workplace.